107 to 102.3. Gola's gonna slow the vibe down here a little bit, y'all. Let me tell you. Fellas, whatever you do, stay out of trouble. You're trying to go home. There's no need to get yourself embedded deeper in Angola. Try to get home. I love you, man.
Once a man has entered the gates of Angola prison, he may never see the outside world again. Here, 90-year-old convicts sleep next to 18-year-old outlaws. Some rise each morning with freedom on their minds, while others prepare to die behind these bars. But inmates aren't the only lifers at Angola. Inside the confines of Louisiana State Penitentiary, just half a mile from the main prison, is Angola's residential staff community. It's called the B Line, named after a railway that once passed through this area. Hundreds of Angola's correctional officers call the B Line home.
Hey, honey. When I retire, I probably won't have to leave if my wife's still working here. I'll have to have something to do some housework, and keep the house clean, wash the clothes, get a uniform ready for the next day.
Major Ronnie Fruget has lived here for 40 years, making the same short drive to work every day.
You feel safer here than you do out in the free world. Even though this is a prison with a lot of dangerous individuals, there's not very much crime here on the residential area. You don't have to worry about your kids' toys come up missing. Leave your house unlocked if you want to. You couldn't do that out there in the free world. Eventually, you become a victim out there.
As a security officer at Angola, Fruget sees each inmate's life evolve, from the day he arrives to his burial in the prison cemetery.
It's really exciting. I mean, you know, like my job, I read about this one guy. The police are searching for him, and the next day you look on TV, he's been arrested. And then you read the newspaper in a few weeks, and he's been convicted. And then all of a sudden, I'll see on the newspaper where he's being sent, you know, to Angola for the rest of his life. I see him from then on, and he's part of my life. And some of them, you know, I've been watching them for 30, 40 years, and they're probably gonna die here. Some of them that were here when I got here are getting old, and they're passing away on a weekly basis. You know, it's just a whole circle of life.
At 70 years old, Lloyd Bone has been at Angola for as long as Major Fruget. This marks the 40th year of his life sentence.
I'm here for murder.
On a brisk December night, Lloyd crossed the river into one of New Orleans' most dangerous neighborhoods. It was a night that changed his life forever.
When I took and left home that night, they told me don't go. Told me if you go back across that river, say you don't get in trouble. I told her, give me my car keys, I'm gone. I went across that river. I ain't made it back yet.
Lloyd left behind a wife and 3 daughters. But over time, he made a new life for himself, far from his family.
I call it home. It's just a place right here where I made home. Every morning, I wake up feeling good.
For Lloyd, every morning for the last 4 decades has been an exact repeat of the one before. But today has something new in store. Lloyd's grandson, Eric Bone, is on a bus of new inmates heading down the winding Angola Road. Assistant Warden Kathy Fontenot passes the caravan as she enters Angola for another day of work.
This road dead ends at our front gate. It is a dead end for many people.
Kathy has watched generations of men journey down this path.
This is the road that thousands of people travel for the last time in their entire free world life. And so this is the last image of freedom that they'll see. This is it.
While Eric and the new inmates catch a last glimpse of freedom, Major Ronnie Frugier awaits their arrival.
You know, this is a big group of inmates. Normal board is from 5 to 8. So with 23, it's going to take a while. I got the inmates unloading out here. Can you come give me a hand with them?
Processing 23 new inmates will be a full and chaotic day's work for Frugier and his staff.
I'm going to call y'all out a name and just put them right here, and we'll figure out if all the records are here.
This is the first time that Lloyd's grandson, Eric Bone, has been inside Angola. But he's heard about it all his life.
I've been hearing stories about Angola and my grandfather since the cradle. I never met my grandfather ever. We've been in Angola my whole life.
But no stories can prepare Eric for what lies ahead.
I'm a first-time offender. This is my first time in jail ever, and I have a life sentence.
Though he claims he didn't fire the gun, as the driver in a drive-by shooting, Eric earned a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
But how many of y'all have done time here in Angola before? You? And what unit?
Death row.
Death row?
Yes, sir.
And what's your sentence now? Life? Okay.
Frugier has the weighty job of determining which housing unit each inmate will call home.
I check different things, his age, his demeanor, his previous disciplinary history, and then combine them all together, and then we come up with the results of where we're going to place him.
Oh, Bone? Yes, sir.
Frugier discovers that Eric got into some trouble while awaiting trial at the parish jail.
Now, I found 3 fights in there.
Yes, sir. It was just fights that erupted on the tier, and they just picked random people.
Got your blood, huh? Drug
Yeah, they got a few people, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, do you belong to any gangs?
No, sir.
Never have?
No, sir.
Do you have any gang tattoos on?
No tattoos at all, sir.
None?
None.
Frugier's decision will determine where Eric spends his first 90 days at Angola. He could end up in a dormitory that affords him certain freedom, or a tiny cell block for 22 hours a day.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you off midway, not in an extended lockdown, not in a dormitory. We'll make you maximum in a working cell block. 2 men in a cell, y'all work in the daytime. How you feel about that?
For the foreseeable future, Eric will be relegated to an 8x6 cell, allowed 2 hours of fresh air each day.
You'd better be loose.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see it in your face right now. But I have to do what I've done, and that's the best place for you right now. All right?
I ain't want to go to max. I ain't tripping. 90 days wouldn't be nothing. I can handle it.
I go with what's on the reports. I question them, I ask them, I give them the benefit of the doubt, but I go what's on the report.
Coming up, a notorious escapee returns to Angola.
That's that one that ran away on that cotton trailer? Yeah. You gonna get visits? Yes. Walnut 2, line 6.
Major Ronnie Frugier is hard at work assigning housing for Angola's newest inmates.
Medium dormitory.
Medium.
Among them is 23-year-old Eric Bone, a first-time offender who will be here for the rest of his life. But not all of the new inmates are seeing Angola for the first time.
2 writing tablets, 1 pair of eyeglasses, 1 t-shirt, 4 pieces of clothes.
Where's Simon here?
Yeah.
I lost about 40 pounds.
I see that.
Lefty Valverde has been in and out of these gates for most of his adult life. After 3 escape attempts, Lefty lost any chance of getting out of prison. He was moved through several institutions, and now he's finally returning to Angola. But this time, he's not going anywhere.
Radiation plus the chemotherapy, and I can't walk. I'm doing the activity by myself without just about passing out.
He is terminally ill with cancer and has come straight from the hospital ward at another prison.
What I'm gonna do is a hospital program. I'm gonna put you on TC Ward 2, geriatric. You might be living on Ward 1, but that's what I'm gonna assign you to.
While Lefty prepares for his final days at Angola, Eric Bone faces the reality that his life here has just begun.
It's a standard policy when you come through at first. You gotta get it all cut off. I used to get this a lot when I was a child. I was so mad that Mom used to make me get it all cut off. I have a lot of family members I left outside. A mother, a son, 3 sisters, a brother. Loving family, they're here for me.
But Eric also has family on the inside.
Turn and face that way.
40 years ago, Eric's grandfather Lloyd had his own mugshot taken.
I never met my grandfather ever. We've been in Angola my whole life. But it'll be a pleasure to meet him.
Come on.
Over the years, Eric's grandfather Lloyd has risen through the ranks to become an elite inmate, known as a trustee.
What's happening? Huh?
He spends his days caring for the prison's prized Percheron horses.
You got to eat, man. Come on.
Though Lloyd has made a decent life for himself in prison, he wishes his grandson hadn't followed in his footsteps.
I didn't want to see him come up here, but I want to meet him. I want to talk to him. I'm just sorry to see him up here. Y'all got it, big man.
Eric's journey reminds Lloyd of his own first days at Angola.
When I couldn't come to prison, my daughter, Sandra Bone, she would eat. I used to get up in the morning, go to work, come back home, play with the kids. The jobs I had, I took care of my family. And because I come up here, the things I wanted to give them, I couldn't give it to them.
Lloyd can only hope that Eric will also make the best of his life here.
You'll be all right. You got good blood.
Now as he steps into his new life, Eric gathers his only belongings.
2 books, 2 Bibles, 1 bundle of legal mail, 1 pair of tennis shoes, 1 set of headphones, 1 soap dish, and 6 food items.
All right, I got my beds. I got an extra one just in case I need one.
For Major Fruget, a father and a grandfather himself, every Monday's intake is a day of reckoning.
You know, at the end of a processing like this, and thinking where I put them at and where they're gonna be for the rest of their life. And I think about all those guys and all the mamas.
Eric Bone, come on.
You know, I'm a dad, and I'd hate to see my son being in penitentiary and never coming home and never enjoying life anymore.
Y'all be cool, man.
Open the floodgates.
The time has come for Eric to enter his tiny 2-man maximum security cell. Once processing is complete, Fruget can only step back and wonder what each man will make of his life behind bars.
Bone, you know, we don't know all about him. You know, we just see what we see. Bone might make it, but one thing, Bone is probably never going to go home. Those guys, they're here for the rest of their life. You know, wasted life in prison, behind bars. We weren't made to be behind bars. We were made to be free.
Three days after beginning his life sentence for second-degree murder, 23-year-old Eric Bone can already feel his 8x6 cell closing in on him.
Just running in with my celly, get to know my celly, he getting to know me. Gotta have Louisiana hot sauce. That's red beans and rice.
Eric hasn't been assigned a job on the farm yet, so he spends 22 hours a day indoors with his own thoughts.
You know, you get down, you don't do that. When you first come to jail, that's gonna be the first thing. Why me? Can't let it get to you. You got strong people, you got weak people. You're one of the strong ones. So we just gotta deal with it.
Good call. Good call.
You gotta keep a smile on your face.
Once a day, Eric is allowed out on the yard to soak up the sunshine and breathe in some fresh air. Today, he sees some familiar faces.
Yeah, I got a lot of people from New Orleans in here that I know. Oh, that's Uptown right there. Uptown right there, VAR 13. At the Selma right there, that's LaKenna City right there, you hear me?
For a shocking number of men in Louisiana, Angola is an inevitable rite of passage.
What's up, I'm on? Pick me, tell a nigga pick me. You know I get down. You know, in New Orleans it's rough. As a child growing up, that's all you hear is gunshots every night. There we go. You know, in New Orleans, you live to see 21, you did a good job. Right when I made 21, that's when this happened. You know, Louisiana's system is not really up to par right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just met a statistic.
In Louisiana, murder statistics are unusually high. And the more convicts who serve life at Angola, the more officers they need.
Get him out, put him on a halter, and let me see him walk around.
Lieutenant Colonel Harvey Slater has served his life within Angola's gates for the last 30 years. Every day, he oversees inmates on the horse lot.
Basically, the inmates do the job. I just make sure it's done right. Get him between that there and pull it that way.
I'm really the supervisor, I guess.
But over the years, there's one inmate Slater's developed a soft spot for.
I want to see old prisoner I've been knowing a long time.
He and his colleague, Lieutenant Lee Honeycutt, head to the hospital to visit Lefty Valverde, the dying escapee who's just returned to Angola.
Lefty worked for me probably about 6 years. Lefty, anything he set his mind to do, he could do.
The last time that he escaped, and I had just talked to him about a week before that and asked him if he wanted a job back at the horse lot. He said, "Not right now, Miss Honeycutt. I'm working on something else."
After 2 prior escape attempts, Lefty finally succeeded in 2003. He hid in the back of a cotton truck as it exited the prison, prompting a frantic chase across state lines. He was found within a day.
When you escape, that's a black eye on everyone here. From me to Lee to the top to the very bottom. You escape from this place, you just punched everyone at Angola in the face. He's rotten, I know he's rotten. But he was truthful with me. And in prison, that goes a long way. What's going on?
Slater's known Lefty for as long as he can remember. When he was growing up on the Beeline, Lefty was in his prime.
I've been knowing him since he was a little kid. We used to take him up to the gym. We used to train him, teach him how to box. A little bitty fat thing. He was about this big.
Well, what's up with you?
Man, I look like I was in one of them prison camps.
You still got it?
See my legs? You can put I can put almost one hand around my leg. I weigh 115 pounds.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you something. Just a question. If you're discharging tomorrow, and you had a chance to escape today, would you escape?
I want to go home, yeah. I don't know, I'm sort of like an animal, I guess. I don't want to be caged up.
But he didn't run on me. He said as long as he was with me at the horse lot, and gave me his word that he wouldn't run. But when he got away from me, I knew he was going.
For years, Slater and Lefty's lives intertwined, building a rare trust between inmate and free man.
I've been knowing Harvey since he was a little kid, and I promised him I wouldn't run off. I knew his mom and dad real good. And we all told his mom that we'd make sure he didn't get in no trouble.
Oh, my God, was that a lie?
They turned our way around. Nobody ever thought he'd be a colonel still working here. Thought, if anything, he might be here with us.
Uh-oh, time to go.
Yeah.
Later, bro.
And don't make me send nobody after you up there.
On his deathbed, Lefty finally accepts his fate as an Angola lifer.
I didn't want to get old in prison. I didn't want to die in prison. But it looks like I got old in prison. It looks like I'm going to die in prison.
But it's not Lefty's time just yet. Instead, another inmate meets his fate today.
Hello? Yes. And when they found the family said, we don't want him. Oh, man. Nobody took his body. That's a shame.
Warden Burl Kane receives word that a prisoner has passed away.
That's just terrible. All right, bye. He died, heart attack yesterday. And they finally found his family, but the family don't want him. And so we bury him here.
Bodies that are not claimed by family members are laid to rest in Angola's cemetery.
Everybody don't want to die in Angola. Well, you're going to die here. You know, once they pass away. They serve their sentence. The sentence is served.
Coming up.
I believe we're going to go talk to my grandson.
You got a grandson here?
A family reunion, Angola style.
What's happening, man? What's up?
90% of Angola's inmates will die within these walls. Tomorrow, a funeral will mark another life come and gone. 70-year-old Lloyd Bone prepares for tomorrow's proceedings.
Hey, doctor, just give me just a little feed where I can get to them houses.
Warden Kane has tasked him with driving the hearse at every inmate funeral.
When we have a funeral, Lad and Bud, they pull a hearse. I love them. They well took care. Warden Kane gave me the opportunity for to drive the hearse. And I take my job serious. You got it, man. I will never let him down.
As Lloyd prepares to honor a life past, his grandson Eric struggles to perceive his life ahead.
Look, the situation I'm in right now, it's easy to get in it. It's hard to get out of it. But it's not for long.
Like many new inmates, Eric's not ready to accept that he'll live out the rest of his life here at Angola.
I'm ready to get somewhere to where I can just get on my case and just learn the law. I'm not going to get up here and get comfortable. So I got a lot of people that have been up here so long, they're comfortable with this. I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not used to living like this. I'm ready to get back out to my family. I have a 6-year-old I have to raise.
Today, Eric is permitted to make his first phone call home.
I have a collect call from an inmate at Louisiana State Penitentiary.
Hey, what's up, son? What's up, Dad? Man, love you, miss you, bro. I love you, I miss you too. Keep your head up and stay focused, bro. You're gonna be all right. Come on, man. Who my son, Jed? Hold on. You can hear? Yeah, I can hear him. Tell her put him on the phone. Look, just tell her put... I'm coming. Tell her put Jay on the phone.
This call originates from Louisiana Correctional and may be recorded or monitored.
Hello? Yeah, she couldn't hear you. I know that. Tell her put him on the phone. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, look, you just tell him what I said. Ask him what's up. So your daddy say what's up. Your daddy say what's up, man. I tell what's up. Tell him I love him. Say, tell him daddy love him. Your daddy say he love you. I love you. I love you too, man. Ask him when he come and see me. Okay. Don't tell him about me, Jay. Just tell him I'm on a vacation. He on a vacation. He say when you get ready, you can come see him. Well, look, just tell him I love him, and I'm going to call him when I think about my mama, you know what I mean? Man, it's beautiful to hear from you, bro. Oh, I already know. Come on now. All right. Later. Yeah. It went well, you know what I'm saying? I talked to my son. You know, it just be killing me that I've been here and he out there, but I'll be back out there to him. I told him I was on vacation. I don't want to tell him I'm in jail. And I'm 6 years old. I don't want him to know that.
Eric clings to the hope that he may one day go free. But most inmates know there's only one way out of Angola.
All we got left is put the cross on it, the hardware. That'll work. What they used to get buried in was basically a crate. Ward Kane said, doesn't matter what a man's done, he doesn't deserve to be buried in such an undignified manner.
Lifers Gerald Grabert and David Bacon handcraft wooden coffins for every burial, which adds up to dozens each year.
More people die here than make parole or released.
Yeah, we'll put the hardware on there.
The only way they're going out is in boxes. Yeah, you get kind of used to it. You know one day your number's coming too.
Hours from now, inmates will place this coffin in the ground. Before driving the hearse at tomorrow's funeral, Lloyd Bone has important business to tend to. Today, he's going to meet his grandson, Eric, for the very first time. Lieutenant Colonel Harvey Slater drives Lloyd to the main prison visiting shed.
What we going to do, Bones?
I believe we're going to go talk to my grandson.
Hey, you got a grandson here?
Oh, yeah.
How much time he's doing?
Life.
Got the whole monkey, man. What he did? Just got life, huh?
Just got life.
I mean, it's more of excitement than nervous. I don't know what he look like. He could come through that door right now and wouldn't know who he is. I wish we could have met on other conditions.
New inmate Eric Bone has never met his grandfather Lloyd, who's been in Angola on a second-degree murder charge since long before Eric was born. Now, as lifers living under the same roof, they finally have the chance to meet.
Trying, man. Is that all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
You good?
Yeah, that's him.
How old are you at now?
23.
23?
Yeah.
What you thought when you seen me? You thought I was gonna be an old grandpa. I mean, just tell the truth now. When you, how old I looked to be when I took and walked in here, now tell the truth.
I was 60. I didn't think it was 70.
You took and missed me by 10.
Yeah.
And look at me, I'm still kicking.
Right.
That's right.
I got some pictures I brought up here.
Let me see.
That's my son right there.
Oh, you got them with them big shades on.
That's my mom.
You ain't got to tell me, I know who that is. Man, you got it going on. You got a whole family on there and everything. I told your mama I was gonna take and talk to you.
Yeah.
Watch what you do, watch what you say, do your job, stay away from the bad crowd. You don't be all right. And don't never think I don't worry about going home, but I can't let it get the best of me. And that's what you got to do.
I ain't with that. I'm really focused on going home. Gonna be with my family, you know what I'm saying? Still gotta raise my youngin'. He miss daddy.
I know where your head at, I know where your mind at. I went through all that day. When I took and come with this life, I said, Lord, how am I gonna do all this time? After the years started to pass, I quit thinking about it. You know what's on my mind right now? A cup of coffee.
Right.
And smoking a cigarette. You got to realize, you know, you're doing it like sinners. I'm giving you good advice. So, it's on you. It's on you.
Over the years, Lloyd has accepted his fate and carved out the best life possible for himself within the confines of Angola. Now, he can only hope that his grandson will do the same.